Hey, this is Piper. I'm back to do another video. This is going to be short and sweet, shorter than my last video. This video I'm just going to talk a little bit about the teaching of eternal hellfire and the lake of fire, eternal torment, eternal punishment. I'm not going to use a whole lot of scripture. I don't feel like looking up much scripture tonight. This is more food for thought, but if you think about the teaching of eternal punishment, most every church and religion or Christian, professing Christian, they claim that God is a very loving God. No matter who they claim that God is, the average evangelicals and born again say it's Jesus Christ. Jehovah's Witnesses say it's Jehovah. I think Islam says that it's Allah. I mean, all of these different religions and different denominations and faiths and that, they have their own idea of who the divine God is, but they all pretty much agree that he's a loving God. But then they'll turn around and condemn somebody for not understanding the truth, or the mainstream born-agains will say, well, if you don't accept Christ, or the person of Christ, you're going to burn for eternity and in hell. And a lot of the religions and Christian people will say that the story of Lazarus and the rich man is either in Luke 16 or Luke 19. I'm not sure right this minute. I believe it's Luke 16, but I'm unsure. But they'll say Lazarus, the rich man was begging Lazarus to bring him water for his tongue, and he was being tortured in flames. I believe that's just a metaphor, or that's just a story that was told to help us to see that there's consequences to our actions. Cause and effect. There's cause and effect in the world. I can think of a scripture, Isaiah 57:1 says that when a righteous man dies, he's taken away from the calamity that lies ahead, and he rests in his bed. Now, that says a righteous man, so I guess he wouldn't be in hell anyway. But if you look at Malachi 4, those scriptures talk about in the day that Christ, in the day that God judges and all of that, the wicked will be burned up and consumed, and they will be left with neither root nor branch. So the wicked will be consumed by fire, and I believe it says they'll be as ashes under the soles of your feet, as if they never were. There's a place in, I believe, Ecclesiastes that says the dead know not anything. In them there's no memory, no planning. This hellfire teaching didn't even start up until around the 3rd century or so. Dante's Inferno had a lot to do with that. This is a teaching that just, it popped up early on. It's not really scriptural. People are taking the scriptures totally out of context. But that's just some food for thought. If anybody's got any ideas, or if you throw any scriptures at me, I'll answer them the best way I can. But I've done some research on the words like hell. Back at the time when the Bible was written, hell really just meant a hole in the ground, or a dark hole, or the pit, the grave. As far as the lake of fire, there was a place called the Valley of Hinnom, outside of Jerusalem, I believe, over there somewhere. It was like a city dump almost, and it was always on fire. It was burning with trash and refuse at all times. The fire never went out. There were actually criminals thrown into that fire to be executed, evil, bad criminals, that was their punishment. So that's, when the Bible references lake of fire, they're giving you an example. They're actually referencing the Valley of Hinnom. In the book of Revelation, when it talks about the false prophet and the evil angels or demons and the wicked getting thrown into the lake of fire, they're actually going to be burned up and consumed. They're not going to run around screaming for eternity. that doesn't even make sense. And if anybody really will admit that and open their minds, they'll see that the lake of fire for eternal torment doesn't make any sense at all for a loving God to do that. Can I prove it? No. Nor can it be proven that I'm wrong. But if you really logically look at it, it doesn't make any sense. And words in the Bible like Sheol, Gehenna, hell, grave, burning lake, they can all be attributed back to either just a dark pit or a grave or, something burning, nothing that's going to be burned eternally. Somewhere I think in the Bible where it says the smoke of their torment goes up forever, that's just speaking about their wickedness. That'll never end. That wickedness, the smoke from it or the consequences of it are forever. But I definitely will do another video soon also about the second coming of Christ, or the return of Christ, the 1,000-year millennial reign, and kind of talking some in that about how there's two resurrections, and that everybody's not called during this lifetime, so really nobody's lost at this point. But I will be doing that video on another day, so like I said, I'll be putting this video up on Facebook and my YouTube channel, and I hope I get some feedback on it. Thank you.